Hello. Well, if you're anything like me, you've been looking on YouTube to see if you can find where the reversing light switch is on an Aygo C1 107. And I've got good news and bad news. The good news is I can show you where it is. The bad news is it's all the way down under here. And if, like me, you put the car into reverse and no lights come on and you've got an MOT coming up, you know that's going to be a fail on anything post 2009. So we're going to need to change it. First job, bloody focus. Right, that's better. First job, battery out. Disconnect the neutral first, then the live. That's the battery securing clamp there. Wind that out, take the little bit of plate out, you can lift your battery out. And I'll get that out of the way and show you how to get the battery tray out. That's the step afterwards. Right, with the battery out of the way, we can now remove the battery tray. There are 1, 2, 3 M6 bolts, 10mm spanner size socket, whatever, and then another one. See if I can show you down there. Down there, you can probably just make it out. There's another bolt right at the bottom of there. It's an M8. You need a 12mm socket to get all the way down there to undo that. Then pop that clip out and unhook this. It just lifts off, twist it out, and you can lift the battery tray out. So with the battery tray out, you've got a little bit more access. You can get at the plugs. It was actually easier to undo this screw, this bracket only. It's the only screw holding it on. Get that bracket off to disengage the plug from it. It's on a little tapered clippy thing. It just pushes off, but it's almost impossible to do with it with the bracket in place. This is you push the catch in on the top here and you can pull the socket off the plug there, and the switch is still buried underneath this bracket here, so we need to get this off next. If you undo the 3 bolts holding the bracket to the body first, 1, 2 and 1 over the back, you need a 14mm socket and a long extension. You can then take the weight of the gearbox from underneath to just lift this off the body, and then you can undo these 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3 and a 4th one over the back there, for which you need the same 14mm socket. That engine mounting and bracket out the way, it reveals the switch. Finally, you need a 27mm spanner or an injector socket with a slot in the side to pass the cable through. I cannot see any way you would get that out from underneath or wherever with the bracket in place. The bracket literally fits straight over the top there. The only access space is along here, and even if you could loosen it, I don't think you could undo it. So we'll get that one out of the way. Right, so that's the switch and the cable out the top of the gearbox. Got a new switch here. It's a Febby part 37357, and it fits all of these little city bugs, the Aygo, the 107 and the C1. Switches are available from about £15 each for an Intermotor or an unbranded white box one. Given how awkward it was to get in to change it, I decided to spend, this one cost me £32 plus postage. I think a genuine one is £60. So I wouldn't I wouldn't personally choose an unbranded white box item for this job, given how difficult it is to change. But I also balked at spending £60, so a Febby, which is as far as I'm aware, it's original equipment manufacturer. That was the route I chose. Comes with a short length of harness and the plug on it. Let's get it fitted. Right, there's the new switch in place, and the plug and socket clip back onto the bracket. I did test the circuit by bridging out the pins in the original on the socket, and that brought the reversing light up. I also tested the old switch once it was out, and there was no continuity through it, so that shows the switch was the problem. Double checked the new switch before I fitted it, and I've just tested it by temporarily connecting the battery to make sure that it turns the lights on when you put it in reverse, which it does. So with that all done, it's simply a case of, as Mr. Haynes used to say, reversal is the replacement, as I should say, is the reverse of the removal procedure. One thing to bear in mind when you put these bolts back in is they don't go straight down, they go in at an angle. So just be wary. It would be very easy to try and put them in what appears to be straight, when in actual fact you're going to cross thread them, and all four of them go in at that slight angle. I'm not sure how well you can see there, but they don't yeah, that would catch people out. Right, I know I've just said it, that's all the 4 bolts back in, plus the 3 on here. As I say, I know I've just said it, but you must be careful to put those bolts in at a slight angle. I would suggest you start doing it by hand. As my old man used to say, if it ain't going in easy, son, you've got it in the wrong hole. So yeah, just beware. That's the only, I mean, taking all this junk out to change the bloody switch is a pain in the arse, but that's the only thing that's likely to catch anybody out. Right, with that lot all back together, I'll give it a quick test. Well, the beepers are working, that's a good sign. And there we are, the lights on. So hopefully that's shown you how to do it, helped you out, and I'll get on with the rest of the stuff I've got to do for the MOT. Cheers.